Our very special guest this morning from Mount Hope Nazarene Retirement Community, their Director of Advancement, Kris Wilson. Good morning, Kris.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome back to the studio.
To be here. I love this. It's such a great time.
We love having you here. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Absolutely. All the team that I work with at Mount Hope. Such a great group. And every day they show up with smiles on their faces and just do such a great job at the work and ministry there at Mount Hope.
So you guys are a retirement community right here in Manheim. Tell us about what you do and where you're at.
We are, absolutely. We are tucked in the little section there off of Cider Press Road, kind of in the triangle, Mount Hope Home Road, Cider Press, and Shoemaker.
Yeah.
We don't look like a nursing facility because we're just a two-story brick building. We have 50 skilled nursing beds. We have an on-site full rehab program, and we have a couple independent living cottages as well. So I've worked there since 2017.
Okay.
What is that?
I know you love it
like
there.
7 years.
7 years, yeah.
Love it. I'm one of those people in Manheim that didn't even know it existed until my mom needed care. So it's kind of like Manheim's little best kept secret.
Yeah.
But my passion and goal is to get the word out there that we are a wonderful facility, wonderful option for many families who have loved ones who need nursing care. Just a great little place.
Yeah, and you guys are expanding. You're putting in more cottages.
We are. We got approval to add 2 independent living cottages, which will be a total of 4 single floor living suite style apartments. They're going to go right on our campus behind the 2 that are on the Mount Hope Home Road side. So we are doing a little building project, fundraising project for that as well. We are almost halfway there.
That's awesome.
And it's like what it normally costs, like $1 million. So
it's crazy.
There it is.
How can people support that? Can they do that online?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our website, Mount Hope, and it's MTHOPE Nazarene.org. If you go to the donate tab, there is a drop down and you'll see new cottage build. So that specifically is if you're interested in helping us with the independent living side, the cottage side, you can drop down and give your gift that way. There's a couple different other options on that drop down.
Right.
One is about our banquet.
Which is coming up. Tell us about that.
I know. That is the biggest, largest fundraising event that we have in the year. It is coming very soon. It's next Saturday, September 21, at Manheim Brethren in Christ Church, right down the road here from us. Doors open at 5 p.m. And, lots of good things are going to happen that evening. You're not going to want to miss that.
We're going to talk more about that. Is there info on the website about that as well?
There is a little bit, yeah. But if you go under the website, I'm trying to think, it's under events, drop down, you'll see banquet.
Yeah.
And I think, the information is there. And that piece that we're going to be doing that evening with the fundraising is for benevolence and resident care needs. In the skilled nursing home world, especially at Mount Hope, we have probably over 80% of our residents are on state assistance, Medicaid.
Yeah.
So there is the gap that is often referred to as what the cost of care is every day versus what the state assistance reimburses. So there's a gap of anywhere from $180 to $200 a day per resident who is on state assistance.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a place like Mount Hope, who is missional about taking anybody who needs care, whether you have the funding or on limited income, fixed incomes, a lot of them are on state assistance. There's that gap. So we rely heavily on fundraising, which is what our banquet is for next Saturday.
And we're going to talk about that coming up more, so stick around. Also, music on the way from Zach Williams, Megan Woods, and much more. Our very special guest, Kris Wilson, with us, the Director of Advancement at Mount Hope Nazarene Retirement Community. Kris, good morning again.
Hi, good morning
So
again.
great to have you here. Tell us all about Mount Hope.
Yeah, so Mount Hope is a 50-bed skilled nursing facility with rehab on site and a couple cottages. We are in the little section of Manheim that is off of 72 Cider Press, Shoemaker, and Mount Hope Home Road. It's at 3026 Mount Hope Home Road.
And it's been there for a long
Forever.
time.
It started as 1969.
Crazy.
As most Manheim people know it as the Dunkard Home.
Right.
Is the way that it would have started. And then the Effort of Grace Point Nazarene Church became involved in about 2007.
Yeah.
And took it over. And it's just a great place, great care, great staff, very missional in what we do, our work in ministry.
And
seniors.
You were telling us that, aging, dementia affects everybody and at different ages, different stages of our life.
It really does. We have our banquet coming up here next Saturday on September 21st at Manheim Brethren in Christ Church. They're on 54 North Penryn Road. Doors open at 5 p.m., but it is a very, very special evening. It's the most fun event for me in the year of the calendar because it's just a great time. It's a great time for the community to come together, families, personal stories sharing. This year we have especially two very special guests. One is Tillman Grandstaff. His father is a resident at Mount Hope, and he's young. He's in his early 60s. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have Evie Booker, who she and her husband both actually worked at Mount Hope when it was the Dunkard home. So it goes way back and kind of full circle for Ken. He ended up being a resident at Mount Hope, and he passed away just a little bit ago. So Evie's sharing her story about being able to work at Mount Hope, contribute to the work and mission, and then what it was like to, have her spouse be a resident there. And Tillman, on the other hand, is a young dad with a family and, baby just over 1 year old.
Wow.
And so, dementia doesn't really, and some of the aging doesn't really pick as to who, it affects so much of us in so many parts of society. And so that's going to be the story sharing part of Mount Hope at the banquet next Saturday at Manheim BIC. The other parts of it are a delicious catered meal, one of my favorite spots of the banquet. And then we have just some updates about, we mentioned earlier about our campus, the building expansion project with the independent living cottages. We'll have a little update on where we're at on fundraising with that. And then we go into our themed baskets and experiences fundraising event.
And Kris, we're showing Liam and I pictures of her home. Her home is filled with theme baskets. So much so that her daughter is saying, "Where do I eat supper?" Because you're just sitting at the table making baskets every night.
That is pretty much it. That is pretty much it.
So who are some of the theme baskets? What are some of the auction items that are going to be there?
I'm going to just say, you're not going to want to miss this event on Saturday night because, what is it, like 105 days till Christmas or something like that?
Whoa.
I mean, I know, right? Here you go. You've got all of your baskets. They are wrapped. They have bows on.
And they're beautiful.
And you saw them all in my house.
And they're filling your house.
They literally are. There's over 70 items up that you will be available to bid on. There's also a smoker, a grill, a fire pit, and handcrafted cornhole boards.
Wow.
There's a lot of very high-end, really good stuff.
Can people see the auction items online?
So we don't have that capability online, but I've been sending mass emails around.
Cool.
And so
Good for you.
If you are connected to Mount Hope in any way with my email, I think we'll give that information a little later on how to reach out to me. You can definitely see all of the baskets. But that is a really great time. John Hess is doing our part of that where he's leading the bidding and the experiences. And he said just such a good word. People who come to this type of a banquet at Mount Hope have it already in their heart to want to support the work and ministry of Mount Hope and to give in this way. So, and he does an excellent job.
Mount Hope Nazarene Retirement Community having their banquet at Manheim BIC. It's next Saturday, September 21st. Do people need reservations or tickets ahead of time?
Not necessarily. I mean, you can RSVP. There is an RSVP date by this Saturday, the 14th. But, we know how plans change and things get canceled and new things come in. So I would definitely say we are going to have a lot of seating available. So please come. It's in the warehouse, the gymnasium part of Manheim Brethren in Christ Church. It's the entrance off of North Penryn Road.
Right. How can people get in touch with you to get reservations?
First, I'll give my cell phone out. It's probably the easiest, which is crazy over the air, right? It's 717-682-8026. You can definitely call or text me. My email is advancement@MT Hope, which is HOPE, Nazarene.org.
Right.
And so please email or call there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, just come. Just show up. We take cash, card, or check. There's lots of ways to buy and bid.
Lots of auction items. A great night to hear the testimonies of how God is at work at Mount Hope Nazarene Retirement Community. It's happening next Saturday, September 21st, Manheim, BIC. Go to mthopenazarene.org for all that info. Kris, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
We
Always
loved
a
having you
pleasure.
here.